Today is so freaking hot, like too hot, so I'm gonna keep this video super quick. By the way, I found this coffee shop which is based on London. Well, specifically the London Underground. I'll show you around. You've got all the underground signs. It's very nostalgic for me. Bear in mind I lived in London for 10 years. Alright, so while we've got this heat going on here, I want to share something super open with you. I reached a point at the end of last year, after 20 plus years of helping with sales transformation, niching down, doing what everybody says, where I just questioned everything. And I thought, I don't know if I want to do any of this anymore. I don't know if I want to teach sales. I don't know if I want to work with the type of clients I'm working with. Not that I didn't like my clients, it's just I questioned everything. I'm now 44, so I was 42, 43, well 43 when I was questioning this. And it was a long time coming. And I think it's a really important and underrated topic to discuss, hence why I'm talking about it in today's video, because we are told to niche down, we are told to build your brand entirely around the problem that you solve. And I agree with that to a certain extent, but we are now in the creator economy, and it's specifically the trust economy, but we're in a trust recession. And what that means is that nobody trusts anybody online anymore. Nobody trusts anybody with business anymore. It's tougher than it's ever been if you are not clear on who you are. And it's okay to not be clear on who you are. But if you're struggling to sell, or you're struggling to make money in your business, I believe that this is the reason why. Because you haven't stepped back and given yourself permission to tear up your life scripts. We live by our life scripts. Our life scripts form our beliefs. They form our thoughts. Everything, our behaviors, our patterns of behavior, how we live each day. If every Sunday morning you go and get the newspaper, like my dad, for my entire life, he's 76 now, but for my entire life, my dad will go out with the dog on a Sunday morning, he'll go and get the newspaper, and then he'll come back and he'll sit in the conservatory and he'll read the newspaper. That is a part of his life script. We have to ask from time to time, are the scripts that I've written for myself, and scripts are nurture and nature, so we definitely create our own life scripts, but then of course a lot of our life scripts are from childhood and shit that we don't even realize, stuff we don't even care about, and we end up growing and evolving through life, but then we're holding on to life scripts and certain patterns. And that's what happened to me last year. I questioned everything because I noticed that everything I was doing seemed to be just crumbling, and I felt more out of my integrity, and you don't want to feel that way. So it's okay to look at your life scripts and say, are these the scripts I even want? The great thing about being a human being is we are the only species on the planet that has choice. If you think about a dog has to be a dog. A cat will be a cat. A cat doesn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I feel like being a flamingo today, or a penguin. And if they did, then that would be the most watched video on YouTube you've ever seen in your life, because any cat acting strangely gets a laugh, right? But as human beings, we can live a one way for 50 years, wake up on a ordinary Thursday morning and say, fuck this, I'm done living this way. This isn't who I am. I'm going to change my script. And usually the only time that we change is when we get massive pain. Death, divorce, financial instability, major illness. We have a wake-up call. I'll be honest, my wake-up call was 33 days ago to the day when I was rushed into hospital and I thought I was going to die. But I don't want to talk to you so much about that today, and I talk about it in other videos. What I'm here to do is to be totally open with you that I reached a point at the end of throughout last year, and especially at the end of last year, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't know what I want to do. And that was a scary proposition. So the ego, the identity, was jumping up and down saying, but this is who you are. And the more I said, but I don't know if I like who I am. I don't know if I enjoy the work that I'm doing. What if there's something entirely different for me? So I went through this resistance, this uncertainty, and I was extremely uncomfortable for many months. And it was only through spending a lot of time by myself. I'm lucky that I get to spend plenty of time by myself. The one thing I have is time. And then something fascinating happened that I never even imagined. I started to gain clarity. No, before clarity, excuse me. I started to become comfortable with the uncertainty, not knowing. I was like, wow, I like this. I trust it. Because as human beings, we've been taught to survive, and a part of the way that we've been taught survival is we stick to whatever our life scripts are, because that's all we've ever known. And even if those life scripts are destructive and they torture us and they give us physical and mental anxiety, we don't change our life scripts because that is our comfort. And changing them is fucking scary until it isn't. And all I can say, and I'm not going to say I'm an expert in this, but all I will share from my own personal experience is that I went through that. And what was fascinating, I went through that fear and that worry and that this is all I've ever known. And then I became open to the uncertainty. And I'm still in that place where I'm totally open to the uncertainty. And being comfortable with that actually set me free. I don't think many people ever get to that point where they have that luxury that they can be okay with the uncertainty in life. But the next thing that happened wowed me the most, and I was in awe of it, because a lot of the things that I wasn't enjoying with what I was doing, I was able to look at with a fresh set of eyes and say, it's not that I want to change what I'm doing, I just want to do it more my way. And things that I used to hate, so for example, I used to hate Zoom calls. I used to hate going on a Zoom call. I love working with my clients, but I used to, and I tell my clients this, I used to hate them. And I'd roll my eyes, and I always felt there was a force and a push to do these Zoom calls, and it never ended. It's like, oh, there's another Zoom call in the diary. I went through a phase where I didn't want a single Zoom call in my diary. But as I got through this uncertainty and just trusting that I need to slow down so my soul and the universe can catch up and tell me what I actually enjoy versus what I don't enjoy. The point is that I then came through the other side of it, and I said, no, I really enjoy what I teach. I love working with my clients, and now I love Zoom calls. I do a Monday to Friday call. Right now I'm doing a Monday to Friday call. So every day I do a call with my clients, and I love it. That is a far cry from what was happening last year, where I pretty much resented that. So I'm not really sure what else to say in this video, but maybe it's an idea to look at your life scripts and ask, are you living the life in the way that you want? And sure enough, we can say, well, no, I want to make millions of dollars. Because I asked a friend this the other day, and he said, yeah, I'd love to make millions. I want to get a big house. And I'm like, that's not really what I'm talking about. Control the controllables. Like the scripts that you have now, they become your behaviors, they become your identity, who you are, and then your ego tries to hold on for that for dear life. And when you challenge that, the ego will jump up and down and say, no, you've got to stay who you are, because this is what's paid you, this is what's given you your identity, your status in your community, your position in your family, whatever, right? Just challenge it. Have a think about it. If you could change one thing, with your scripts, what would it be? I'm fascinated to know. Comment below, let me know. And if you've not hit the like and subscribe button, do that now. And guess what? I will see you tomorrow. And we'll probably talk about my niche one day, which is sales. But I'm just doing it my way now. I'm done with all the strategic thinking, and I'm going to talk about my niche every single day and just build a brand. I've been told this by quite a few friends and people, my mentors and people that I trust. And they're like, Pete, you're more than that. And my clients say it. They're like, yeah, you teach sales, but what you offer is so much more than that. So I'm just here doing my thing, and I'm going to be sharing what I feel like. Have a good one. I need to edit this video. Laters. They're also obsessed with Harry Potter here, so of course they've got the Harry Potter station as well. So I want to talk to you today is that today is so freaking hot, like too hot. So I'm going to keep this video super quick. By the way, I found this coffee shop which is based on London. Well, specifically the London Underground. I'll show you around. You've got all the underground signs. It's very nostalgic for me. Bearing in mind I lived in London for 10 years. Even they're obsessed with Harry Potter here, as they are